The Disappearance That Haunted a Town. Subscribe for more real crime stories. Like, share, and join the discussion below. The rain was falling hard that night when they found the car. It was parked right at the edge of Willow Creek. Door wide open, headlights still on, engine still running, but no one inside. Inside the driver's seat was a half-empty cup of coffee, still warm. The name Lily Carter was written on it in blue ink. Her phone lay on the passenger seat, screen cracked, as if it had been dropped in a hurry. But Lily was gone. Sheriff Daniels stood in the rain, flashlight cutting through the darkness, staring at the empty car. Behind him, the red and blue lights from the patrol cars reflected on the wet road like ripples of warning. "No footprints, no struggle," he said quietly. "Just gone." For the people of Willow Creek, a quiet, tight-knit town in North Carolina, this was the moment that would change everything. Lily wasn't just any resident. She was the girl everyone loved, the one who volunteered at the animal shelter and helped her neighbors fix fences. Her sudden disappearance would haunt the town for years. But that night, no one knew how deep the secrets would go, or that Lily's case would uncover things the townspeople had buried long ago. As the sheriff leaned closer to the car, he noticed something odd, a small silver locket hanging from the rearview mirror. Inside was a photo of Lily and a man no one in town had ever seen before. And then, just as he reached for it, a voice called from the woods. "Sheriff, over here." The rain fell harder as Daniels ran toward the sound, flashlight beam bouncing through the trees. He reached the creek's edge and froze. There, tangled in the roots, was a torn piece of Lily's red jacket. But that wasn't the part that made his blood run cold. Next to it, half buried in the mud, was a man's shoe, size 11. The kind worn by someone the sheriff knew all too well. His stomach tightened. "No," he whispered to himself. "It can't be." That night marked the beginning of Willow Creek's nightmare, a disappearance that would tear apart friendships, families, and trust. 2 days earlier, the town had been peaceful. Lily Carter had been laughing with her best friend, Emma, at the local diner. No one could have imagined that in less than 48 hours, she would vanish without a trace. It started like any ordinary day in Willow Creek, until something strange happened at the gas station that morning. A dark blue pickup truck, unfamiliar to anyone in town, pulled up and parked right beside Lily's car. The gas station cameras caught it all, or at least what little there was to see. Sheriff Daniels replayed the footage over and over, his eyes narrowing every time the blue pickup truck appeared on screen. It parked beside Lily's car for exactly 6 minutes. Then both vehicles pulled out at the same time, heading in the direction of Willow Creek, the very place where Lily's car was later found abandoned. The strange part? The pickup had no license plate. Emma, Lily's best friend, sat quietly in the sheriff's office, tears filling her eyes as she stared at the grainy footage. "She told me she was meeting someone," she whispered. "Said it was about her dad's old property up near the woods. But she didn't say who." Sheriff Daniels leaned back in his chair, rubbing his temples. "Did she seem scared?" Emma shook her head. "No, just nervous. Like she wanted to tell me something but wasn't ready yet." Outside, the town buzzed with gossip. Everyone had a theory. Some said Lily had run away, others whispered she'd been kidnapped. But what no one knew was that Lily had been investigating something. Her father had died years ago under strange circumstances, and she believed his death wasn't an accident. Daniels decided to visit the old Carter property. The place had been empty for years, overgrown and falling apart. The gate creaked as he pushed it open, flashlight cutting through the thick fog that hung low over the ground. The wind made the trees groan, their shadows dancing across the dirt path. Inside the old farmhouse, dust covered everything. The furniture was still there, untouched, frozen in time. On the kitchen table, he found something that made his heart skip. A stack of papers, maps, property deeds, and a list of names. One name was circled in red ink, Michael Reeves. Daniels knew that name. Reeves had worked with Lily's father at the lumber mill years ago before leaving town suddenly. He'd recently returned, claiming to start a small business on the edge of town. The sheriff's radio crackled to life. "Daniels, we got something," Deputy Cole's voice said. "You need to come down to the creek. We found another shoe, same size, and there's blood on it." Daniels froze. The blood. The missing man's shoe. The locket with Lily, and a mystery man. Everything was starting to connect, but not in a way that made sense. He drove back fast, the wipers fighting the heavy rain. When he reached the creek, the deputies had already taped off the area. But what they found next made everyone step back in shock. Floating face down in the shallow water was a body. Not Lily's, but Michael Reeves. The entire town went silent when word spread that Michael Reeves' body had been found. For years, people had whispered his name like it carried bad luck. Now he was back dead. Sheriff Daniels stood by the creek, the early morning mist rising around him as officers carefully pulled the body from the cold water. Reeves' clothes were soaked, his skin pale, and there was a deep bruise on the side of his head. No ID, no phone, just a set of car keys in his pocket, keys that belonged to a blue pickup truck. Daniels crouched beside the stretcher as the coroner zipped up the bag. "So, he's the one following Lily," he said under his breath. "But if he's dead too, then where's Lily?" Deputy Cole shook his head. "No sign of her yet. We checked upstream and around the woods. Nothing." Back at the station, the sheriff studied the evidence board. There were photos of Lily, the creek, the car, and now Reeves' face pinned in the center. Strings connected the clues, but none of it added up. Was Reeves trying to help Lily? Or was he the one she feared? Emma came to the station again, this time holding a small USB flash drive. "I found this in Lily's desk," she said nervously. "I think she wanted someone to find it." Daniels plugged it into the computer. A video popped up, shaky footage of Lily speaking into her phone camera. "If anything happens to me," she said, her voice trembling, "it's because I found something about my dad's death." Michael said he could explain, but I don't trust him. "He's been watching me. Please, if I disappear, don't stop looking." The room went completely still. Daniels exhaled. She knew she was in danger. Just then, a knock on the door broke the silence. A local mechanic, Jim Rogers, stood there, rain dripping from his cap. "Sheriff, I thought you'd want to see this," he said, holding up a small black box. "We towed that blue pickup from the woods last night. Found this tracker hidden under the back seat." Daniels took it, his pulse quickening. "A GPS tracker?" "Yeah. And guess what? It's still active." The sheriff and his team traced the signal, which led deep into the forest behind the old Carter property. The trees grew thicker, darker, and the air felt colder with every step. Then suddenly, the tracking signal stopped. There, half buried beneath wet leaves and dirt, they found something chilling, a small piece of fabric, red and torn, just like Lily's jacket. And next to it, scratched into the bark of an old oak tree, were the words, "I know the truth."